It's the Daily Dog.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Doug. I am thankful that you are with us today. So, it was a few weeks ago that we did music here on the channel by the band Angra for the first time. We did the song Holy Land, and that was off of their album by the same name. I remember very much liking the song and liking their approach to their musicianship. It had a really eclectic and interesting appeal to me musically, and I had mentioned in that video that I was interested in looking more into this band's music. So of course a whole bunch of people started suggesting songs, and there was a clear consensus as to which song of theirs should be included here on the channel next, and that song is called Carolina 4. So that's a song that we're going to be doing today. This song, Carolina 4, is also from the album Holy Land. In fact, Carolina 4 directly precedes the title track. I believe Carolina 4 is the fourth song on the album, and then Holy Land is the fifth. The album itself is a concept album that centers on the exploration of and discovery of modern-day Brazil by Europeans back in the 16th century. And as I did my read-in today, and I've got the lyrics all pulled up here, I was trying to figure out what Carolina 4 actually means. And I think they're talking about the name of a ship, a sailing vessel. Of course, Carolina is a well-known word, a well-known name, especially Americans. It's partly the name of two of our states. The name Carolina comes from Charles, and back in that time period of exploration from Europe, right? There were a few King Charles that were, worthy, I guess, in their minds of having stuff named after them. But Carolina is also a feminine name based on that same root word. And I wonder if the Spanish or the Portuguese had named one of their sailing vessels Carolina for the same reasons that early European settlers in America named that region of the East Coast the Carolinas. So that's all that I can figure out here as we get ready to listen to this, because they are talking about being on the water and exploring and becoming free, right? And that's, I think, part of the root word for Charles itself. It's a name that means being a free person. So I am eager, like I said, to hear what they've got for us here. So this is Angra, Carolina 4. This is the studio recording. Off we go. Neat drums. Really neat acoustic with the different drum sounds popping in. That's a D chord. Huh. Yeah. A, G sharp, and down. So it's like a D major chord, and they're outlining an E major over the top of it, like a D Lydian scale, but they're also using subtonics around that D. Right, that's that D down to a C. So it has a real sort of, part of it is Mixolydian and part of it is Lydian. It's almost like a whole tone scale in parts. And a relative minor, like a 1, 2, back up to 6. Cool. Thrills like we had before, so why won't you come with me, my friend? Like the backing kind of string sounds and those flutes. Like I said, it's got that really eclectic feel from the percussion and sort of the combining of musical scales. Really cool. Okay, that's a D. It went up a step. Carolina. Carolina 4 took a river to the sky, 7 men on board taking part to take their hearts around all around the world. So it is talking about a ship. Wow. I'm saying wow to the intensity of the kick drum. They're doing this in several different keys, or not several, but like a few different keys. Major 1, down to flat 7, down to minor 5, and then the drumming's rushing. It's not even in the same pocket as the rest of the piece. Whole different piece now. It's like the third real distinct song that I've heard in this one song. Another completely different idea. Really cool percussion. This is much more musically interesting to me than the previous section with all the kick drums. Up a half step. Up the minor scale, and I think they're in E minor where they landed. Down a step, and then a modulation to G. Down to 5. Oh, that's 5 of 6 to 6. See? It's really interesting. They've got all these different sorts of competing musical styles that are just sort of all patched in here. Back to E minor, D, B. Huh. Third. Also, the wow. I'm gonna stop it. I was going to say it's also showing its age a little bit. I believe that this album is several years old, and those orchestral sounds sound dated for what electronic patches we can use for orchestral sounds that bands have access to now. On we go. The drumming gets in the way of the solos. It's all I can hear. It's all my brain goes to. It's completely overwhelming in musical texture. Like you can barely hear all the flute stuff in the background. It's amazing, but you can't hear it. One, flat 7, minor 5, back to 1. Yeah, the percussion's not even in the same tempo as the rest of the song. At times, it phases in and out. From my heart to you, I say, I'll be here to stay. Back to the beginning. And the original key. I mean, this is the most interesting part of the song to me, this little lick. Because they're singing A to G sharp to E. Now that one was A to B and back again, but when they move off of that A over the D chord, it's harmonizing like E major over the top of it. A really like hopeful Lydian fourth, augmented fourth sort of sound over that, combined with that subtonic. It's a really interesting harmonic little thing that they've got going here. I wish I heard more of it throughout the piece. Is it just going to fade out? Like, it'd be cool to hear a solo over the top of this. The last lyrics, Carolina 4 took the river to the sky. Windy whistling nights made me sail right into the wind's eye. Now I'll die singing. And the story continues, and in the next song they get to the Holy Land, I think. So, boy, what a roller coaster ride that was. It was like hitting all of the amusement park rides in one. Right? Wow. I don't know what I think of that, y'all. There were parts of that were just not very interesting musically to me. I'm sorry to say. And it's completely through their choices of what they did with the percussion and how much it invaded the overall sound of the track during those sections. The musical nuance that they had going through there is almost completely lost because that is just so darn overbearing compared to what everything else is doing. It's almost like if you've got a team of 5 people, and one person all of a sudden starts doing something that overshadows the efforts of every other person on the team. The rest of the team would get mad at some point, right? That's what it kind of feels like to me. I think that the song could have been made better and more musically interesting by making different choices in those middle sections. I like contrasting sections. I think it's perfectly good to do, especially with songs that are this length. You need that contrast for part of the storytelling, especially with something like this, which is part of a concept album. But man, those sections, for at least for me, were difficult to listen to, and I don't think that was their intent. As I've been talking to more folks who have been more drawn to metal music for many, many years, I understand. I think I'm starting to understand the appeal and the draw of those sorts of percussion decisions in these pieces. It's just one that, for me, from a composition standpoint, is one that I think detracts from the overall intensity of the piece and the layered sort of, gestalt of a piece. I think it does more harm than good musically. That's my opinion. If you disagree with that, that is perfectly fine with me. I'm not angry about it. It's just an observation, no judgment whatsoever. But what an interesting take on this, and I think that in the context of the overall album, it could work very well. So maybe I should take a look into the entirety of the album and just let it wash over me. So I might do that tonight, actually, and give it another shot. So, but for today, I think that's it, and I'll try to get to some more Angra. Let me know what other stuff that they have that you think that I would enjoy down in the comments. I would appreciate it very much. Thanks, everybody, for being with me today. This has been fun. We got more music coming up for you this week. And until then, I will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.